All right. Do not adjust your computer screens, your TVs, or whatever you're on right now. I am live. And no, it is not Tuesday. No, it is not Thursday. No, it is not Saturday. It is Sunday. And yes, I keep having to look at my own calendar to go ahead and remember that as well. So we are live today with a special show with a special guest on here to go over a current project that's on here. Before I get going on this, if you'll let me know in the audience comments over here if you can see and hear me, I'd certainly appreciate that. Let's get some shares out there, and then we will get going here very shortly. We are already having some fun backstage talking about some things, and then we're going to get up here and enlighten everybody on this particular project. And if you saw the splash screen whenever this was first starting out, you should already know what project this is. If you don't, then we're going to enlighten you on that one as well. So, again, if you'll let me know you can see and hear me, I'd certainly appreciate that. And we'll get these shares going and make sure everybody knows that we are live. And we will get this bad boy started on a Sunday. That is right. I am here on a Sunday. In fact, if you think you're tired of seeing me already, wait, because I am here every single day this week, all the way through Thursday, because I have the weekend off, and I've got some projects that I'll be talking about throughout the week as well. So get ready for it. I'm about to chuck this bad boy. You think you got tired of seeing Chuck so much, you're going to see me a lot more on this one. All right, so let me make sure everything's set up on this end. It looks like everything is good. I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest up here. Today we have a returning guest who has been on here once before on Hell of a Show. He has been on Unscripted a couple of times that I'm aware of on there, and we've got more times that we're going to be bringing him back on as well. So let me go ahead and bring out Jason Dube.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
What's going on, Jason? Welcome back to the show.
Hey, Phil. Thank you for having me back on this special Sunday.
Hey, absolutely. Like I said, I keep having to check my calendar and make sure I got the right day. And, I'm looking at it going, wait, am I supposed to be on here today? What's going on?
Yeah, my clocks all are messed up, too, because I had to forward them, make them all go forward. And yeah, I'm all messed up today.
That is very true. Now, before we get going too far into this and everything, if you'll go ahead and let everybody know just a brief description of, who you are, what you do, and where to find you.
Yes, my name's Jason Dube. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher of Scattered Comics. Do a lot of freelance work as well. Recently, I got a full-time job at an animation studio, so a lot of my commission stuff is kind of slowing down. But I have a new comic book project campaign that's going on right now called Shadowhunters Bite Me, and it focuses mostly on the rebellious vampire Jenna. So, and if you, for Shadowhunter fans, you know that the three girls that are in Shadowhunters are Jenna the vampire, Jessica the werewolf, and Renea the witch. So this one is a kind of a origin type story, but more of an origin of just before she meets up with the other girls. However, it's also a continuation of kind of where we left off with Lilith and Mara. So a little bit of evolution from that part to now we've got vampires on Earth. So you get to delve into that world.
Yeah, and if you're out there and you're wondering about Lilith and Mara, I'm going to tell you right now, it got the Demon Seal of Approval back whenever it was launched. It got even more of an approval whenever it was in my hands, and it still is. I think I've got 6 covers or something like that. I got a lot of books.
You've got the fill of them.
Yeah, exactly. I could not pass it up.
You got the Patreon exclusive.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, if you're not a Patreon, definitely get on there as well. We'll be talking about that. And Dan is in here. Appreciate you being here, Dan.
Woo! Dan the man.
All right. So it's a continuation of Lilith and Mara. Lilith and Mara, like I said, Demon Seal of Approval, Above and Beyond. I don't want to give spoilers on there or whatever, but the whole point of all of this is there's too many books that are out there that have the same storylines, the same concept, the same. It's like, cookie cutter style, basically. And then you come to Lilith and Mara, and that's what got my attention was, wait a minute, not only is the artwork different, the style's different, but the story was not what you're expecting from a vampire-esque story in Lilith and Mara. And then, of course, now we have Shadowhunters Bite Me. And the tagline for Bite Me is vampires prefer beer. Yes, you heard that correctly. So give us a synopsis of what is Shadowhunters Bite Me. What exactly are we looking for in this story?
Well, like I said, it does focus mainly on the rebellious vampire girl, Jenna. Now, she is actually a half vampire. And some vampires are created and some are born, if you can believe it. And it goes more into how that works in the story. But so the ones that are born are actually born. They have to use humans to make the birth. You know, they're not gonna. Vampires are undead, so they can't actually create life inside them. But so they use humans to create basically these half vampires. Now these half vampires on their when they become of mature age, when they drink their first human blood, then they become full vampire. Then they're all, you know, they're all in, their powers are at their peaks, all that stuff. But in the meantime, if they don't, then they basically are half vampire, half human, which have some advantages, but not really. You know, vampires are just like, that's lame. Why would I ever do that? But Jenna refuses to drink blood. She wants nothing to control her. She doesn't want anything. She doesn't want to be basically, controlled by anything. And so she has this thirst to drink blood, but she's like, you know what? No, nothing controlling me. Nothing's going to dictate my life. So I'm not going to drink. And a lot of her family is like, they don't understand it. You know, they think she's insane. And then others are kind of plotting against her as well, that aren't her family, because I'm trying not to give away too much of the book. But let's just say she's at there's different clans of vampires, different little sects of different vampires. And that all came from how they were created. So she's from one of the she's like from the royal bloodline. And so she's got the highest power. So of course there's other vampire clans are like, oh, let's take her out somehow. You know, let's get rid of her. So anyway, that's kind of where the whole thing is with her.
So what I'm going to do right now is we're actually going to show the video from your campaign on here. And I'm going to put it up on the big screen on here so we can see this. Let me get this set up. Hopefully we don't blow anything up in the process. You never know. And let's share this bad boy and see what's going on.
Lilith created the vampires. Vampires created the clans.
Order! Order! I call for order!
Jenna, you stand here today before the Great Council for your act of defying our sacred laws of feeding.
No vampire would dare defy the clans of the High Council.
You will submit to feeding by force if necessary. This is the Council's final decree.
But I'm not really what you would call a traditional vampire.
You can't stand against the council. They won't allow you to break our laws.
What the hell do you think they'll do to me?
Okay, fine. So you want to drink blood? What kind of life can you have as a half-clan?
The choice is easy. I'll drink beer.
She is too powerful to allow her not to become one of us.
What? Do you really want her to become full blood and be even more powerful?
No. I want her dead.
What is happening?
This halfling girl is going to tear our entire council apart. Go!
That is a great video for that. I mean, that tells the storyline right there. So if you're not familiar, that's enough to it's just enough to get you excited and interested in it, but not enough to give anything away.
Oh, perfect, man. That's what I wanted to hear. I'm looking at all of Dustin's comments as he's what's not to love boozy vampire chick.
Yeah, there's a trend going on that. So the whole point of vampires prefer booze or prefer beer. That's just that was perfect. I mean, for the tagline on this thing was absolutely perfect. And then you see on the video on that thing, so she's got a choice to make, and she chooses beer. Priorities. So it's a fun project. I mean, it is, and it's got like you said, it's branching off of some of the other things you got on there, tying in, of course, to the Shadow Hunters, but not a direct tie-in to where if you haven't read Shadow Hunters, you can't really catch up to it by any means. Same thing with Lilith and Mara. I do recommend that you do get caught up, though. Just saying that out loud right now. Get caught up.
And with this, it actually has a Lilith and Mara second chance
yes.
book too. So if you didn't get it before, now you can.
Exactly.
Get your
exactly. Get your libraries up there just like mine. Absolutely.
Exactly. And there's a Shadow Hunters tie-in book as well that is offered in the campaign. And that one is basically a story that focuses also on Jenna, but it's like during current times. So you can see, and there's some things that happen in that issue that a lot of people were probably reading and going, oh, I don't understand, why are these things happening? Now you get Bite Me, and it explains all that and where it all leads up. So
exactly.
Get the whole chronological storyline.
Now, we kind of talked about the story and everything. Let's go ahead and delve into some of the art, because I got some things I want to show up here while we're up here talking about it.
We love art.
We have this cover here, which this is the traditional cover, correct?
Yes. Summerdale, of course, does the regular edition cover. Her artwork, fantastic. Love her style. She's now done 3 of my book covers, Genesis, Lilith and Mara, and Shadow Hunters Bite Me. And every time I'm just like, I can't wait to make another comic so she can do another cover for me. I love her work.
Exactly. It is. It's one of those things that just has a different feel to it, because your style, of course, your style is totally different and everything, and more of the cartoony and the anime style. And then you see this and you're like, wow. I mean, it just takes it to a whole different level on what you're reading into there. It doesn't change the storyline at all. It just gives you different perspective on the cover that's on there, which is great, because you have a few different ways of doing that. And this is another cover that I want to go over. Before I bring this one up, I want to go ahead and say homages, to me, I enjoy homages. They're great and everything. This particular homage has been done so many times that people are like, oh my gosh, I am so tired of seeing that particular homage. This one came out, and well, judge for yourself, because that thing came out amazing, no pun intended.
Oh yeah, Wells Dorado did an amazing job on that one. And yeah, this is actually he did 2 cover versions of this. So he does the one you can get normal in English, and then he thought it'd be fun to do a Spanish variant of this one, and he decided to do just 10 limited copies of that, just for just to put it out there, and they're almost all gobbled up already. No vampire pun intended there. Hey, nice to see you.
Exactly. And S is acting. Let me see. Do you remember doing the sketch of Victoria?
Oh yes, I do. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I got more sketches coming for this campaign as well. So I'm excited, and I'm gonna start putting out. And you know me, Phil. I like to draw. I like to draw, film it, and then put it out there so everyone gets to watch their sketches that they have me do through the campaign. So.
Oh, it's great. I love that part. I mean, I love watching the making of things. So it's not just the finished product itself, but it's the going through the making. And that's part of it, is whenever you're doing that at the end, the fulfillment area is perfect. But we're talking about covers. We can't go without showing a couple of other covers, since there's someone else who did covers in here. Somebody named Jason Dube something.
That guy, that clown. Yeah. And I did 2 covers. And I wanted to feature the 2 main characters, basically. So this is Carmela and her 2 twin sisters, so I guess that makes it triplets. And yeah, they all come into play in this comic. So, but the main one was Carmilla, who I think you saw a little bit of her in the video. And then, so we have this cover that features them, and then we have another cover that, yeah, I was gonna say the one that's in the background. There you go. So, and this one, you know, this one kind of says it all right here. You got Jenna, you know, drinking a beer. Here you go. So
exactly. And then yes, I do have it in the background, but it focuses more on her face and everything on there. You've got to see everything on there to see, you know, vampires prefer beer. I mean, there it is right there. That's your tagline in art.
So yeah, and this was the book, you know, this one was a fun one to draw too. As I'm drawing it, I'm laughing the whole time, just going, oh.
Now, as far as the artwork is concerned, we saw some of that on the video and all. And I've got one other page that I want to show up on here just so you can kind of see what you're getting involved into whenever you get into this.
All right, there's some more of my art. Yes.
I mean, automatically, I automatically think of Cartoon Network. Every time I see your artwork, it just automatically just pulls me into that. But then the storyline is it's a page turner. I mean, I've already done the review and everything for Lilith and Mara. Very lengthy review on that as well. So if you haven't seen that, go back to my YouTube channel and go look over there for it. It's right there in the best of section, if I'm not mistaken, over there.
Hey, Christina, thank you for all the emojis there.
It is wait, she leave emoji. Oh, there we go. Those are actually for me. Don't get too excited about that, Jason. That is my girlfriend there. That is for you, baby. Hey.
It doesn't matter. It made me smile, so share the love here.
Hey, I just don't want you to get, you know, if you're jealous, I could throw one over to you too. I mean, that's, you know.
Phil's like, forget it. Don't buy his comic.
See, she's even saying those are for Phil.
I just saw them. I thought she was kissing my artwork.
No, she loves your artwork though. She's seen a lot of that, the books that I already have, and then of course artwork that you post up here, and then of course the campaign itself, and she's excited about it as well to see what's going on because, again, she loves this artwork with this, and she's a big fan of art and loves yours.
Thank you, Christina.
And then these are for Jason. Yes.
Yeah. Feels like we're gonna have words after this video's over, Jason.
No, it's all good. But I mean, you've got some amazing artwork. The storyline is in there, is on point and everything. There's a lot of energy that's involved in the story itself. The campaign is doing well so far, and you still have how long do you have left on this?
I think 20. I'm
21 days.
21 days.
Yes.
And yeah, we're 2,300 right now, so that's doing great.
Yes.
So, but everyone, go ahead and back it now.
And that is true. Yeah, she wanted to order that Panda book. So yeah, you and I will be talking about that. Absolutely.
Panda Day.
Well, Jason does some other books as well. I'm not going to keep any secrets from everybody. He does some other books as well. And there is the Panda Days book that she wants to get. So
yeah, I've got those on my Square store, some of my other books. So yeah.
What's up, Del?
Del Guzman. What's up?
All right. So your campaign is going along with this thing. You've got some amazing artwork that's on here and all. We've got something else that we can kind of scratch the surface of talking about briefly, but there's not a lot that we can give up with it. So there's secrets that are involved. Sorry, but it just happens in the industry.
Yeah.
There's a crossover that is involved with a certain company that you know that everyone out there may or may not have heard of. Small company. It's called Totally Bad, Totally Big, something totally.
That's rad.
that is rad. That is rad. Oh, that's Totally Rad Comics. That's what it is. Totally Rad Comics has got a campaign that is launching tomorrow for Totally Rad Life of Kitty Banger. And there is a crossover thing that's on there that is going to have, if you back this and you back that, then you will get, it looks like it's going to be some form of art, most likely a print, correct?
A print, 11 by 17 print. Yes,
okay.
That we can't show yet.
Exactly. So I haven't seen it myself either, so don't think that everyone else out there is missing out on this. I am waiting to see it because I have already backed, of course, Jason's project here, and I will be backing Totally Rad as well. And Steph is in here. Appreciate you being here, Steph.
Woo! Thank
Back
you.
them both,
Thanks,
yes.
brother. You heard from
And
me. Got it back it now.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, go over there and back them both. So whenever we launch Totally Rad Comics tomorrow with their new campaign, make sure you get on and get involved in that, and you will get that print. It's going to be an interesting print. We were kind of talking about it backstage and looking forward to it. It is Noelle is doing the artwork for that, correct?
Colorado did the artwork on that one, and yeah, that's pretty much all we can say about it right now.
Exactly.
I tried to get permission, but we have to hold back for a little bit.
Hey, it's the joys of the industry. People that are here already know there's there are some things that are involved in that.
Jeff wants to know where the link is.
So the links are embedded in every feed. So if you go ahead and click on See More on YouTube, Facebook, or the other Facebook, because I have 2 other channels on Facebook, you will see the link right there. But the link for the Indiegogo is right here as well. But it is in the feeds, so you can click on it very quickly, very easily, and go directly to it. So that will be in there. And Steph, also, I've got it posted in on my feed under my profile. So if you go over there, you should be able to share that out as well.
I love Steph's work. He's a great artist.
Oh yeah, that gal can draw. She can draw.
Yes.
All right, so
inspiration.
Exactly. So we got the crossover coming up, which is going to be fun having that on there. Now, on your particular campaign, I want to go ahead and bring up, it's not just the comics that are on there, which is really cool. You've got a couple of other options that are available. One of which is the t-shirt. So the artwork that you see behind us right now, the artwork that we put up there, which has the bigger image, the full image of this, that is on the t-shirt with the drink of choice, and it actually says vampires prefer beer.
So for everyone that really enjoys that image with the phrase, there you go. I know, I was just thinking, I want that shirt, so that's what I'm going to make. I'm going to make a shirt for me, and then, because you never know what people are going to like, but at least there's going to be one fan, myself. So, you got to start off with having, like the stuff you create, and then other people can, fall in too.
Exactly. I definitely got my shirt locked in. That's for sure. I'm not missing out on that one.
Awesome. That's right. You did.
Oh yeah. And of course you got the bundles on here, so you can get different things. There's the
thank you, Steph.
Which one was that one? You got all the comics, but you had another bundle on here. Let me see. The Summer of Fangs.
I did a few bundles to help out, because sometimes I go on to Kickstarters or Indiegogos, and there's so much great stuff. I'm like, I don't know what to get. And then there's like these some people will bundle stuff up, and it's like, oh, there you go. That's got everything I want. Take that bundle. So I made sure I did some bundles. So we have if you just like Summer Dale's cover artwork, there's a bundle for her. There's a bundle just for my artwork stuff. There's one that's like, get all the books, because a lot of people are like, well, okay, you've got this book and this book and this, which ones do I? So here you go. Get all the books. Just take them all.
Exactly.
So and then we got the Drain Me Dry bundle, which is, it's got a play on words there, because you're draining your wallet to get all this stuff, but it's kind of vampires draining you dry too. So yeah.
And Dan saying Jason's #1 fan is me. Ha ha ha.
He might not be wrong there.
It would be close there, yeah.
Arm wrestle for that one, but yeah, Dan actually he actually did I was going to do a perk that people could have their likeness drawn into the comic book. But as I was getting the comic book ready for the campaign, I realized it's going to be just really hard to have blank areas to draw people in later. But Dan was really interested in having that done. So he bought into, if I was going to have that perk, he bought into it before I made the perk. And now he's in the book, basically. So
is that Vampire Kill #1 type thing, or no spoilers? No spoilers.
2. I always tell him, okay, I'm working on your page right now. you're about to die. Sorry, man.
It's the only time you ever get excited whenever you're being immortalized in a comic being killed. It's like, yes, finally.
I always felt like it's kind of weird telling him I'm about to kill you off now in a really bloody way. And he's liking that. Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
Yes,
to
that's right.
each their own.
And add-ons.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Now, the thing with Indiegogo, of course, is you can't do the add-ons or anything. So if you purchase something, you can go back and purchase something else. You can go back and purchase something else. So if you don't like the particular bundles that are on there and you want to get a t-shirt and, one of the other covers that's not in the bundle type thing, you can do that. It's just two separate purchases you have to make on there. That's the only thing.
Well, with the shirt and the print, there's an 11x17 print. I did actually create add-ons for those two.
Oh,
so
nice.
You can get any of the books and still get the shirt or the print as an add-on. But
well, there you go.
Add-ons, you can also get a sketch from me or some added ink blood by Noel. He does these markups on the cover and he adds blood all over and makes them all gory and stuff. It sounded weird when he first came up with the idea, but then he showed an example. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I want that. So
yeah.
So there's some fun add-ons on there.
When that was offered on the Lilith and Mara, I mean, of course, I got all the different ones that were on there, and that was one of the things was the blood splatter. And of course, you get the book, and you're looking at the first book, and you're like, man, that's a cool looking cover. And then I flip around to the next one, I'm like, wow, and we just went to the next level.
It just looks, it's pretty awesome the way he knows how he can just draw it on. I mean, he's a great artist, so it's probably no problem for him, but it looks amazing.
Exactly. Now, of course, this is Shadowhunters Bite Me. So go ahead and let us know about what is the deal with the Shadowhunters world. What do we expect from there? Because I've actually read through them. Worth it. I'm telling you right now, definitely worth it. So let everyone know what the world of the Shadowhunters is.
So yeah, the world of the Shadowhunters is basically, it revolves around these three monster girls. One's a vampire, it's Jenna. Another one is a werewolf, a green-haired werewolf. But instead of turning into a full-blown, like, those real scary werewolves that you see in the movies, she turns into this giant, ravaging green Dalmatian. And which is a little strange. I guess they all have a little bit of a different tweak to each one of them. You got the half vampire, prefers beer over blood. You got the green haired Jenna turning into a giant werewolf Dalmatian, and then you have Renea, who is she's a witch, and she's actually running away from her coven, I guess, which is another story I won't get into right now. But so Shadowhunters basically revolves around those three, and they team up to fight off this invasion of demons that are plaguing the city of Sacramento. And the only problem is there's this underground shadow organization called the 00 that hunts down everything supernatural. So not only does the government know that they're supernatural things, but they actually hunt them down. So they see them, they're hunting them down, even though they're trying to save humanity. So that's kind of the opening salvo line of where the comic starts. And so there's a whole lot of, so a whole lot of storylines. We're about 4 issues deep in the Shadowhunters series. But I mean, as we do these campaigns, we bring those books into their tie-in issues that we bring into with these campaigns. So the tie-in issue with this one revolves around Jenna as well. So you get to see what's happening with her present day and how the stuff in Bite Me ties in with what's happening present day. So,
and Shadowhunters was 4 issues?
Well, it's a continuing storyline. Actually, issue 5 is on the tail end of being completed right now. So Shadowhunters continues going on. Yeah, we're gonna have lots of Shadowhunters. And then there is a director that's been trying to put a live motion picture of Shadowhunters together. I think they were in pre-production last year for the first opening shot, but with everything happening last year, kind of delayed that. But that's exciting as well. So
Exactly.
a lot of stuff going on with Shadowhunters, which is fun.
So how is it that oh, hang on, Steph's saying he's got to go. Thanks for another great show, Phil. Steph, you must be feeling under the weather or something. You're saying it's a great show. Usually you razz me about that.
Thank you, Steph, for the love.
Appreciate it, Steph.
Have a good one.
All right. So I mean you've got quite a few things that you've dealt with and everything. And we kind of brought up at the very beginning about, this is a different way of doing a vampire storytelling type thing. How did you come up with the idea for this? Because there's so many vampire things out there, and they all kind of almost have the cookie cutter scenario to them. How did you come up with something new and different?
I didn't actually come up, just make it so it was different, but I just come up with these ideas, and I had always have a love for horror movies. So I wanted to do something with vampires and werewolves. And I originally was doing a series called Scattered. And I did a lot of supernatural stuff like ghosts and spirits and angels and demons. And I kind of focused in that world. And I was like, oh, I want to bring in like werewolves and vampires. How do they fit into this spirit world stuff too, And that was where the first concept of, okay, if I'm going to bring them in, I got to come up with these characters. And so I think I'm not sure of a lot of people actually, but I took people in my life and kind of made characters of them. And then I threw some stuff into, I guess, this supernatural world, so there's Jenna, there's Jessica, who was somebody, I used somebody that I knew that was really into Dalmatians. And I was like, okay, she's going to turn into a giant Dalmatian. So, that's kind of where it all came from. So they probably are a little bit different because the people I base them off are not, I took stuff from them that made them into like the characters. So, but yeah, I don't know. The story kind of keeps unfolding and evolving as I keep going on. And the more I write, the more I'm like, more storyline starts unfolding that I didn't even really plan out. And just kind of, you take it one way and then all of a sudden you're like, well, wait a minute. So that would mean that this has to be this way. And then this would, so in a way I get to kind of entertain myself and get to, it's kind of surprising me how the story starts unfolding, but I don't have a master plan that started the whole thing. And I just told it piece by piece. It just keeps falling together kind of as I keeps telling the story. So I'm just lucky.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it, because that way you get fresh new ideas you can throw into there instead of having, an outline that you have to stick by going all the way through it. You can actually adapt to things because you can see, oh, okay, there's more of a following for this character, so I'm going to go ahead and do a spinoff on this one and come back to this over here and keep this in a team thing.
That happened with several characters now, and Lilith and Mara now. Thanks, Bill.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Hey, I will never ever apologize for that one. That was
that was awesome. That was
it's the first ever thing that you had that it was actually approved by the demon, the devil, and a pastor. So I mean, you can't get any better than that.
I still remember that morning, guys, grading the trailer, and I'm just all nervous, and then everybody just gave such positive reviews. I was like, so.
Oh yeah.
No, that was.
I mean, it was fun. It's something that it's a passion project of yours. You put your passion into it, and it shows through there. And that's the main thing is what you've got. So you've got this new project that's on here that you're running through, and it's strong enough to be a standalone story on there if need be. But it's more fun whenever you have the backstory as well. So you have, of course, that's tier available in there, so you can get caught up. Highly recommended. But if you don't do that, it's still a good standalone, which is cool because people just want to come in and go, I saw this Jason guy on an interview with this goofy guy who thinks he's a host on these shows or whatever, and I want to see some more of his artwork. There's a thing going right now. I think I'll just go ahead and get one book and I should be okay.
Sure.
That's one way you can do it. I'm telling you right now, though, that's going to be your hook right there, and you're just going to be like, oh, put more in there. Put more in there. I'm ready. Give me some more.
No, I'm glad I like that I can offer more books too on these campaigns, because it's like you said, they can either get a taste or they can get a whole group of books and just sit down and make a nice afternoon of it and get their
Exactly.
fix.
Exactly. Now, we've talked about the campaign and everything. Of course, we'll come back to it again as well. But I want to go ahead and give you a little bit of time here. We're going to talk about your Patreon, because those that aren't on Patreon. So, okay, let me backtrack here. With what's going on with the campaign and everything, we that are on Patreon have gotten to see this thing being made all the way through the process of being to where it's okay, we're going to launch this thing, it's ready, and we're like, oh, this is so cool. So you need to get on Patreon. It is fun, it is informative, it's educational. Jason makes it fun over there, and there are perks depending upon the tiers that you're on, which are well worth it. Trust me, very well worth it. So, Jason, tell us a little bit about what goes on with Patreon and what to expect over there, because I mean, I've told, from my fan standpoint, let them know from yours on, why they need to go ahead and jump over there and get on board.
Well, you set it up really great. Thank you. The tier I believe you're speaking of for this campaign would be it's a $20 tier, and every month you get a print. I do an exclusive print just for the Patreons, and everyone gets a vote on. In fact, I got one here. This is the one I think that just went out.
Yes.
And this is actually your idea, that you came up with this idea.
Yes, it was.
And the death of 2020. So it's it's Death from Sandman, and you got 2020 just blowing away. And this was for January. Very happy New Year, So, but that's one of the tiers. And so when a comic book comes out, one of these comic book campaigns, a very special exclusive Patreon only cover is made for this. And the one that we're doing is actually the one that's for the patrons. Is a full front and back connected cover that you'll get with an exclusive book. You get the book signed, numbered, and I think there's only like 4 people in that tier, so it's like 1 of 4, So that's very exclusive. So, but for there's smaller tiers as well on the Patreon. There's one that you can get the videos, and the one you're talking about, how you got to see step by step how the book comes out. I put everything I do, I put it on there: pencils, inks, colors, for everything that I do. It's these books, other things that I'm working on. So I'm always posting stuff up. At least I'm trying to. And that's a $5 tier where you get to see all the sneak peeks, I always call them.
Mm-hmm.
There is a $1 tier where you can just do that, and you get a weekly update of what's happening. There's finished artwork. You get to be even though it's public artwork, you'll be the first to see it before it goes wide public.
Mm-hmm.
So even the $1 tier is pretty cool too. So,
and there's more than just what you're working on, like with your campaign. There have been other projects that you've done that I never would have known that you worked on. There have been games that you've worked on. There's different things like that. And I'm looking at it going, well, there's more stuff that I need to start following and find out what's going on over here. So if you're a fan of the artwork, he does a lot more than just what's on campaign. There's a lot more that goes on to there. So you might want to see what's going available, and Patreon will help you do that too.
Absolutely. Oh, Dan. Yes. Dan's a patron on our Patreon too. So yeah, he is awesome. And I know I get that new printout to you guys soon.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then of course, whenever I get that stuff in, I love it. I mean, getting the actual, especially, I'm going to go ahead. I always make it about my guest, this and everything. But whenever I have an idea and I pass it over and it either gets voted on and it's okay, or like you took the Death to 2020 and you ran with that one. Whenever I finally got that thing in, after we'd even talked about it, yes, I had seen it on Patreon. Yes, I had seen it being in the works and everything. But to actually have it in my collection now as a print, that is amazing to have that.
Oh, that's awesome.
It really is.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, you did an amazing job. For me to come up with an idea and you just go ahead and go, hey, that sounds like fun.
Funny. There you go. I was glad to see that year go by.
Oh yeah, everybody was. But that's one thing is you get in there and you talk to Jason and he's easy going with everything. It's not like one of these things where he's like, beneath me, peasant, I'm busy. He doesn't play that way.
Oh no. No, not at all. Like I'm the peasant still. So, we're all equals out here. I mean, we're all just trying to do what we want to do. You know, we're fighting to do that dream, create good comics, entertain people.
But in the process, you're coming up with some great stuff, and your campaign that's going on right now has already gotten some forward momentum, straight out of the gate. And you still have 21 days left on this thing. So what I would like to see is I'd love for the audience to go ahead and do a post up on Facebook and tag Jason, tag myself in there with the link for this Indiegogo over there, and we can see that. So we can just see this getting moved around and see that the waves of change are happening on this show yet again. Because I will say this as well, Jason is one of the few founding members of whenever I started DemoNation. Whenever I rebranded, Jason was one of the first of the few that came over there. Was automatically, as soon as I mentioned I had a different brand, he jumped straight over. So I appreciate you for doing that, Jason. You've always been a supporter of me, and I've been a supporter of you as well.
Absolutely. It goes both ways. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. That's so much fun.
Yes, the one with the Wendy and December. Yes, so it's Wendy Steen Shaner and December Lace.
Oh, right.
In the print. That was amazing.
Dan came up with that idea to do that one. So I gotta.
It was signed.
Oh yeah. No,
oh, yeah.
That was they loved it too. They all got a print, and Dan was like, make sure you get them a print. I'm like, oh, absolutely, I'm gonna get them a print.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, that was a lot.
The cool thing is you're giving back to the people as well. So again, going back to that, there is no peasant anything, higher, lower, anything like that. You're just working with everybody and doing this because you love doing it. And the more that everybody loves what you're doing, you're going to keep putting it out there. Same thing. I mean, it's a vicious circle that never end as long as everybody wants to keep you around, and they should.
No, absolutely. It's just a lot of fun, and the people that I've met through just your show, Phil, all the new people I've met, they all been awesome and so loving. So, hey, Brian's here.
Whoa, Mr. Silverbacks is here. Yes, teamwork, absolutely.
In fact, I think, if I remember correctly, the first person that that beat you getting the very first contribution was Becky, who I met through Wendy and December.
Yes.
So it's great how this community of artists and creators all know each other and support each other. So I love that.
Exactly. And yes, thank you for pouring salt in that wound that I wasn't the number one backer on this one. I certainly appreciate that one. I'd forgotten about that, but I'll go back to therapy later for that one.
No, it's okay. I launched that thing, and all of a sudden, bing, like Becky.
I'm pretty sure you're over there looking, going, okay, Phil got on. Wait, that's not Phil.
Well, sorry, I'm not. No more salt. But I did my very first original sketch for her that night. It was fun. It was awesome.
Yes. So, oh, speaking of original, you have original art that's available on this campaign as well.
I do. So some of the cover art, of course. Here's the one you were just showing a little while ago.
Yes.
With Kamala and her sisters. Got both covers, I believe. Yeah. Here's the other one.
Yep.
This is the one everyone loves, so.
Oh, yeah.
We got that one. And then I also have, not sure which one is on there right now. I think it's this one. So here's a page. I don't even know if I showed off these panels before.
Those you have not, no. I have seen them because of the Patreon thing, but no, I have not seen it on post or anything.
Okay. Oh, maybe this is the one. Well, I'm going to put both of these up anyway. So
there you go.
Is this the one? Wait,
yes.
This one.
That's the one, yes.
Cover upper.
That's okay.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, it's some amazing work. It's very clean, and to watch him work to actually go ahead and draw this stuff is very cool. You're very critical of your own work, which is kind of funny to watch because you'll be going along, especially on your live videos, you'll be going along, you'll be like, oh, well, this didn't come out the way that I wanted it to, so now I got to change this up, whatever. And I'm looking at it going, holy crap, that is amazing.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, the live ones always drive me. I don't know if other artists are this way when they're doing like live art, but when I'm like nervous. Like I am a nervous wreck when I'm doing, because I'm just like, okay, so I'm drawing, and you either have a good day or a bad day on your art. And I'm just like, okay, hopefully this is not going to be a bad day on live, and especially when you're inking and you're like, crap. But you just put a massive black on it, and it's like there's nowhere to go but maybe some white out, or it's I'm a nervous wreck. But thankfully it's been better. Like the more I do them, the more I seem to get more of a flow. And I don't know. So far it's just been very lucky. I haven't screwed up too badly on live.
I mean, it works, and the colors are very vibrant, and what you're drawing on there whenever you're finishing that up and putting that on there, and then the way that the panels are done. I mean, everything is just it's just one of those stories that you're not going to read this and be able to cure cancer or anything. We're not going to we're going to put that out there right now. This is not one of those kind of books. But if you're looking for something that's fun, that's lighthearted, that'll take you out of the stress in the world that you might have around or something like that, and just want to have fun and enjoy a great book with a great story that's a page turner that's going to set you up for the next one and the next one and the next one and so on and so forth, this is what you want to look into right here. I mean, it's a lot of fun to get into, and he doesn't skimp. I'm telling you right now, printing, he does not skimp on that. It is the pages feel great. The covers are a little bit thicker than normal. I mean, I've already done my reviews on Lilith and Mara, so I can only imagine what this one's going to be as well. So yeah, it's some pretty cool stuff. Whenever you get it, you are very happy to have it.
Thank you. Actually, thank you for saying that, Phil, because that's something that we actually do spend a little bit extra money on, the thicker covers and the real shiny, glossy, because it seems like the art and the colors pop really good. You got that real slick paper. So we try and get, I'm glad someone actually said something about that. So thank you, Phil, because I just want to make sure it's good to know that people are noticing that part of it.
Oh yeah. I mean, okay, contrary to popular belief, I'm gonna go ahead and put this out here right now. If you get a comic book, you can actually open it up and there's a story inside and more art. So don't think it's just the cover art on the front. There's more. There's more inside. So open that thing up and look inside and see what's available. But yeah, definitely. It's something that, I don't know, it's like a personal touch. It's almost like a signature of yours. I mean, besides your regular signature, of course, but it's like, if you're going to go ahead, if I as a fan are going to go ahead and jump on this and back you on this and get whatever book or type thing, you want to make sure whenever it gets into my hands that I am not just the person who goes, it was a good story, it's great art and I love the way it was drawn and everything, it was okay, I'm good with it. Or do you want somebody who's like, holy crap, when's the next one? How many people do I have on my phone? How many people do I have in my contact list right now that I can go ahead and let them know they need to get involved? Because I'll give a shout out right now. The reason I got on Lilith and Mara and you and I got to know each other, Jason, is because of Jim Noble, because he messaged me and he said, dude, have you seen this artwork? And he sent me like one of your pieces of art or whatever over there real quick on the messenger. And I was like, who is this and why don't I know them? And he was like, okay, here's the campaign, go over there.
Wow.
And I went over there and I kind of never left. I'm going to be honest. And I'm, I regret nothing.
No, I remember,
it was great.
That day we met because you messaged me right away. And, and Jim, I was like, Jim, who's this Phil guy? And he's like, oh yeah, I sent him over. And I'm like, thank you for doing that. He's awesome. He's amazing. So yeah. Again, it's that whole community and people knowing each other and just helping each other out. And I'm just really glad that, Jim and you like my work so much, because it's been great ever since. Hey, Summer!
Exactly.
Everybody.
There you go. So we got Summer in here as well. Thank you for being here. Great cover on that. Yes. And also got your other covers for Lilith and Mara too. Great stuff too. Shameless plug. I'll do it all day long. I don't care.
You're good with the plugs.
So you've got this great campaign. Nobody needs to miss out on this thing. We've talked about Jim Noble. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up real quick, because if you have not already, the links are embedded in all of the feeds. But go over there and hit that remind me button. We are planning on doing a live launch with Cupcake tomorrow. So we're not sure of the time yet. I will let you know as we find out, because he is still on the road heading back home. So we'll figure out what time we're going to do that. But he and I are going to do a live launch on my show, a special show for him on this one. So don't miss out the totally rad life of Kitty Banger. But before this happens, you need to go over here to Jason's and get involved in that, because as long as you're backing both of them, then you're able to get that cool print. But on top of that, the cool print is just kind of like the icing on the cake. You don't want to miss out on Jason's stuff. I'm telling you, between Summer, Noel, Jason, all the talent that's involved in this, you do not want to miss out on this thing. And once you get started, you won't be able to stop. Reach out to him and say, hey, I really like your stuff. Is there anything else that you might have? He may not have it on hand, on tap, right at the time, whatever. He'll find you something. And he'll be like, okay, this is what we have to offer. If you'll send me a PayPal, or if you'll send me an address or something like that, I'll get you fixed up. That's the kind of guy that Jason is. And he's very happy and very honored whenever people like his stuff. So as it is with every artist, use your words. Tell them, hey, great stuff. Tell them, hey, great job. We appreciate you. Words like that make it where artists and creators and writers and everybody want to keep doing what they do. So
he's not wrong.
It takes that. It's very simple. Very simple.
I can never hear that enough. It motivates me and keeps me saying, hey, people do like my work.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I get a text someone wants something, I'll just be scrambling. Okay, I got something here. I'll find something.
Very cool. Jason, you've got an amazing campaign that's going on here, and we're going to keep pushing this thing all the way through to the conclusion of it. 21 days is what we've got left on this. So we got some time to make some serious moves on this and make some serious waves out there, shall we say, because, waves of change. Everybody knows how that works.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for being on here tonight on this special show with this. And I hope everyone got to know you a little bit more and about what you're doing and what you're about, and want to start following what you're doing. Start with the campaign. Go over there to Indiegogo. But I want to see those shares. I want to see those shares out there. Tag Jason, tag myself.
Phil's giving you homework.
Exactly. Put a post up there for the Indiegogo. It's not for me. It's not like for every share that I see on there with my tag on there, I get money for it, because I don't. But it's all about the waves of change. Everybody knows you throw a pebble into a pond, you get a ripple. You throw enough pebbles into the pond, you get the waves of change. So I may not be creating, tsunami waves out there, but if we work together, we'll get some waves out there where we can actually reach a different bank. And maybe some people that didn't know Jason ever existed in doing comics, all of a sudden they're looking at it going, hey, that's something else I'd love to have in my collection, or that's something else I know someone else would like to have in their collection too. You never know. So if you go ahead and ask and go ahead and push things out there, you never know what's going to happen. So like Brian Silverback said on here, teamwork. Absolutely. You definitely want to go ahead and work it as a team. There is no competition in this, because everybody's working together, because the voice of the indies is what's important.
Brian's inspiration to me too.
You get that voice out there, one person yelling at the top of their lungs, that's pretty loud. You get enough people yelling out there all at the same time, the voice of the indies gets increased immensely. So get over there. Let's see those shares going on with this. Let's see what we can do with Jason's project on this. And I have a feeling we may be seeing him again before his campaign is over with. So we shall have to see about that. Maybe some updates on that artwork you get for the crossover for backing both of them. You never know.
We'll definitely do something special, because I really wanted to share that on this. So we'll do that. The moment I'm able to show it, you'll be the first.
Very cool. Absolutely. Hey, I'm all over that one. You know that. I definitely want that. Wait a minute. Let me go ahead and point something out real quick, because there was salt in the wound by someone named Dan Stockwell over here about me not being first. Let me go ahead and say, Dan, he wants to be on my show first to show the artwork that no one else has seen. Nanner, nanner, nanner.
Oh, no. What have I done?
I couldn't resist. It's all in fun.
Each other here.
Jason, I appreciate you being on here. Looking forward to having you on again. We're going to get you back on Unscripted as well, so we'll figure out a time to get you locked in on that.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Hey, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and drop you backstage, do some closing statements, and I'll be back here shortly.
I'll be backstage then.
All right. So we had a special hell of a show with a special hell of a guest on here. We had Jason Dube talking about his campaign. Now, this is a different show, so the closing statement on this one is going to be a little bit different than my normal one because it's not based solely on what's been going on with the interview itself. Just want to let you know kind of what's going on with this because everybody's kind of looking at it going, wait a minute. This guy who thinks he's a host of different shows and everything is actually here on a Sunday? What's going on with this? This is not his regular day. This is not. I am taking the weekend off this coming weekend. So I will not be here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, possibly even Monday. So in doing so, I could have gone with just my regular schedule on this one, but some people need some help and need some exposure out there. So I'm doing something a little different. So Jason's the first today. Tomorrow is the live launch of Totally Rad Comics' Life of Kitty Banger. You can't go wrong with the name like that. I'm just telling you right now. Tuesday, I have, I believe it's Anthony Figaro on here. Wednesday, Wednesday is St. Paddy's Day. And yes, I will be speaking Irish. I will be wearing green. And I will have a guest on here by the name of Stone Abdullah because he was not able to be on my show last week. He kept getting knocked off due to his internet issues. So I'm going to give him a special show because he didn't get a chance to really promote his stuff. So he's going to get that chance on my show. And on Thursday, we will finish up with, let me see, I believe it is Sean Arms will be here on Thursday. So I got a full week of this going on, and I hope everybody's not going to get too tired of me doing this. The main point is I don't do this for my exposure so that I can get more money by doing this because I'm not getting money for doing this. What I am getting is more exposure for my guests. So again, it goes back to the voice of the indies. So you already know. You throw a pebble into a pond, you get a ripple. Throw enough pebbles into the pond, get the waves of change. So until tomorrow, I will see you tomorrow for the live launch of Totally Rad Comics' Life of Kitty Banger. Keep it indie, y'all.